Hey, welcome to the Dino and Joe Show. This is Dino. That guy over there, his name is Joe.
Hiya.
So I wanted to talk because I know that we're getting into that time of year when people start thinking about New Year's resolutions and things where they want to improve themselves.
Yes.
And I thought it would be fun. I saw this article and I thought we got to talk about this.
Let's do it.
This is the 100. This is from Health and Fitness Magazine.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not. This is the Health and Fitness section of Inside Hook.
Liar.
I lied. Totally
Health
lied.
and Fitness Magazine.
I'm sure there probably is a repeat
I'm
of this.
sure, yeah.
Somewhere.
Of course.
100 Ways to Live to 100. This is a
Okay.
definitive guide to longevity fitness. Okay.
Okay.
So, like, there is a section of the world, these blue zones where people live to be in their hundreds.
Yes.
And so it got me thinking about, like, what are the things people should do? And there's 100 of these. So I thought that we would go through these and we would compare notes and see if we thought it was a doable or not doable.
Of course.
And see if we can extend the life of us.
Of course.
Because we want to be doing the show forever.
Yeah. How else are we going to get what magazine was it? Inside Hook Magazine to sponsor us.
Sponsors, right. So I thought we'd just start with this first section is dietary decisions.
Okay.
We're going to start with where you eat. Are you ready?
Yeah, probably not, but let's do it.
Eat fresh ingredients grown nearby.
Okay.
The planet's longest living communities all have access to food from farms and orchards down the road within a 10-mile radius of their homes.
That tracks. I think that makes sense. Like I could say probably in the US that is a very large challenge, but
yes,
a lot of like Canada that is very doable. Italy.
No pesticides, no preservatives pumped into them.
Japan,
right?
all of those places. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, eat a wide variety of vegetables. So when mom told you to eat your vegetables, she was not wrong.
I refused until I became like 30, and then I realized I probably should, and now I always eat my vegetables.
It helps you reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. Eat until 80% full. Hara hachibu. It's a Japanese saying that translates to eat until you're 80% full. So you eat until you're slightly full. It directly reduces your risk of cancer, heart disease, or stroke, while giving your body more energy and less bloating in the short term.
Okay.
Because here in the United States, we eat huge portions until we can't eat anymore. So
I used to eat my entire plate no matter what, because that was something that I was taught as a kid, is like, you can't leave the table until you finish your plate. And sometimes if I was at a restaurant, they would give a very large portion that I was very full halfway through, but I would have to finish eating it. So I have learned to say, all right, you know what? I'm plenty full. Let's stop and take something home for lunch.
Part of that is eat home-cooked family dinners. This is number 4.
Absolutely.
How about this? According to a study, eating out twice a day increases your chance of early death by 95%.
Well, yeah, that's
wow.
Well, not only that, but think about the monetary. Like, if you're going to live to 100, you need to save a little cash. Eating out twice a day is going to screw you over pretty hard.
Right?
That's nuts.
Embrace complex carbohydrates.
Embrace them?
Yes.
Okay.
Tons of fiber fuels the body. Complex carbs can be found in like brown rice, oats, and barley. So they're saying that find foods that have those complex carbohydrates.
Absolutely.
And here's one of my favorite ones. Consider a plant-based diet. You don't have to give up meat, but in the blue zone societies, those people don't eat meat very often.
Right.
Meat becomes the rarity, not the staple of the American food like we have here, right? So the blue zone diets at a rate of 5 times a month eat meat, 2 ounces per serving. So interesting.
That's good.
And then they say use free-range animals because they're not treated with hormones or antibiotics. Substitute meat with fish.
Yes. Oh, I love a good piece of salmon yes, absolutely.
One study found that pesco-vegetarians who eat up to 3 ounces of fish daily live longest.
Yeah, the omega fatty acids and all that stuff in there.
Omega-3 fatty acids, yes.
Absolutely.
Very good. Try not to eat just before you go to bed.
Yes, I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
It gave me heartburn. It kept me up. It was a terrible thing. So now I try not to eat at least 3 hours before I go to bed.
What does it say? Within 3 hours of heading to sleep. Look at you. Oh,
I'm trying to be healthy.
did you write this article?
I did.
Number 9, let yourself feel hunger.
Feel hungry. Yeah,
Yep.
I will admit that's something I could probably work on, because when I'm hungry, I'm like, I should eat because I am hungry.
A Harvard geneticist, Dr. David Sinclair, said, we don't know the best method. We do know that if you're never hungry, if you're eating 3 meals a day and snacking in between meals, that's the worst thing you can do. It switches off your body's defenses.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, I don't want that.
Eat dark chocolate. I've heard this before.
So here's the thing. I hate it.
The darker the chocolate, the worse the taste.
Yes, it really is.
I did this
want
with
milk
the boys.
chocolate.
I got 3 levels of, I think they call it cacao.
Yes.
And I got 3 different levels, like a mild level, a medium level, and a really heavy level. And the mild one they liked, the medium one was okay, and that last one,
No.
none of us could do. We were like, oh my goodness.
Of course not. It's terrible.
Horrible.
Disgusting.
Make more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I have been known to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich maybe 2-3 times a week. Usually on my days off, that's what I will eat for like a little lunch thing, because I love PB&Js.
Right. So there was a study that's done and has concluded that eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich can add 33 minutes to your life.
I got a lot of extra minutes then. I got a lot of extra minutes.
No, because I don't like peanut butter and jelly combined. It's gross to me.
I love it.
Eat more beans.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd eat the normal amount.
High in fiber, protein, iron, magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins, and it's low in fat and calories.
There you go.
Beans are good for you. Also, along with that, eat more nuts.
Yes, so my mom turned me on to this. She always snacks on like peanuts or almonds.
Yeah, almonds actually are supposed to be very good for you. They say if you have a handful or 2 of almonds a day, you reduce the risk of dying from cancer, heart disease, and respiratory disease by 20%.
So I used to buy these like little 100-calorie packs of emerald almonds. The thing about almonds is it dries my mouth out. Like I eat it. I'll eat the little pack, but I can't. It sucks all the moisture out. So if I don't have something to drink, I can't do it.
Cook with olive oil instead of butter. That's pretty easy, right?
Yes.
Put your cap on fun foods. So you don't have to cut out all the salt and all the sugar treats that you like to have, but it's about moderation, right?
Yes, it is.
Eating slowly.
I don't know why this is, but I am the fastest eater anybody I know. I eat because I'm there to eat. I'm not there to do anything else.
Right.
The reason I have food in front of me is to consume it, and then when I'm done, I can converse with the table. Like that's how I am.
Did you know 1 in 2,500 people die each year from choking?
That's unfortunate, but
I never knew that.
I saved somebody from choking.
Really?
Yes, it was a girlfriend on Valentine's Day, oddly enough.
That is a very romantic thing to do. She saved their life.
Yeah, it didn't work out, but
it is what it is. But you can always hold it over her head. I saved your life.
She's a doctor now, I think. So
I saved your life, doctor.
I saved your life,
former girlfriend lady.
Exactly.
Drink more water.
Yes, so that's something I've done now for the last 2 years. I used to really just drink anything but I forced myself to drink water at least 128 ounces a day.
Drink red wine at 5 p.m.
Ain't got to tell me twice. That's the only alcohol I really like. That's a deal.
It's a stress reliever. It helps to recalibrate your body. So there's longevity studies with alcohol, not over drinking alcohol, but moderate drinking. It's got red wine has a lower cholesterol effect. So it's actually good for you. You should drink tea every day.
It's such a pain in the butt to make, so I do it rarely. Just because I'm like, I don't want to sit there and wait and steep and wait and steep and wait and steep, and then what's the point?
British people who do your
tea,
right? Coffee is also a good idea.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think coffee.
So other than, obviously jitters and trouble sleeping, which people have side effects from, the chemical compounds in coffee, aside from caffeine, are a wealth of antioxidants. They have a positive impact on mortality, especially when consumed in copious amounts.
Oh, wow. All right.
Drinking multiple cups of coffee each day can help stem chronic disease from type 2 diabetes to Parkinson's.
Wow.
Yeah. By the way, we're not doctors. We're just telling you what someone else wrote.
Correct. So, we are not medical professionals in any way.
Not at all.
We have no official training.
Right.
In this.
The Mediterranean diet. Remember when that was a fad?
Yes.
It actually is well respected for its capability to alter microbiomes, improve cognitive function, and limit the risk of heart disease and promote longevity.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's one of the only fad diets that actually stuck around.
Well, yeah, because I mean, think about Italian food, Greek food.
Right.
Like, it's like those people smoke every day, drink wine like it's water, and they lived 120 years old.
How about this one? Let food be.
Let food be.
In other words, cook the food the way it's meant to be cooked and get off the fried macaroni on top of hamburgers and,
Yeah, sure.
Adding sugar to peanut butter or,
we don't need to do that. I agree.
Leave the food what it is. And here's a big one. I know this is big for people. Some people agree, some people don't, but stop drinking cow's milk.
I'm fine with that. I drink soy milk.
68% of the global population cannot digest cow's milk. And the belief is today that we're not actually ever meant to drink cow's milk.
Yeah, we're all lactose intolerant. It's just different levels.
Yep. So dairy is too high in fat and sugar at large to justify its long-term anointment as the best place for protein and calcium.
Mm-hmm.
So they believe that cow's milk has no impact on longevity at this point.
Big milk going out to get you.
Big milk is coming after me.
It's coming after you.
No, it's never too late. So in other words, 1 month of healthy eating will help with immediate results. Like there's benefits to starting a healthier diet, healthier living anytime that you want to.
Right.
So it's never too late to start, which is kind of cool.
It is.
And then you got to stick to those changes that you make.
Yes.
Like that's a big one, right? So
absolutely.
That is the food section. Let's dive into building the body.
Oh, yes. Let's do this.
Because the first one, I just heard a report the other day that said this is not actually what you need to do, but this one says sleep more than 7 hours a night.
So here's my thing. I don't like that. This was maybe a week or two ago. I got all messed up after daylight savings time changed. And I went to sleep at like 10 o'clock at night and I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning.
Right.
But I was wide awake.
Oh, yeah.
So I took that time to like, you know what? I'm not going to try to fall back asleep. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to start my day. So I woke up, ate breakfast, I worked out, I got some work done, I got some school work done, and I had plenty of time. I took a quick 20-minute nap. I went to work and I was fine. I heard, I think it was Da Vinci, Michelangelo, one of those, slept 4 hours, was awake, did their stuff, and then took another 4-hour break. Like humans, I don't think are meant to sleep 8 hours in a row and then be awake for the rest of the time. You're supposed to take like 2 smaller breaks in between everything else to allow your body to rest and then go back in. Because if you sleep longer than that, it can be problematic.
Well, according to Inside Hook, sleeping 5 hours a night doubles your risk of death. But sleeping longer than 7 hours a night is also bad for you. And which coincides. I heard something the other day about sleeping 6 hours a night. So interesting, but definitely sleep does involve your health, right? Too little of it, not so good. Too much of it, not so good.
Right.
But yeah, it's like figuring that out, right? But that 6 to 7 hour range seems to be where everything always lands. Not too surprising. Practice yoga, meditation. They say you should meditate for 15 minutes a day. Schedule your physical.
Yes.
Probably a big one. Start strength training.
Sure. I can see that.
By the age of 70, most of us have lost a quarter of the strength that we had when we were 30. So
that's probably very true.
Big one. Should move every day. So in those blue zone communities, they find that people are exercising for like 11 minutes a day or more.
Yeah. Well, we love going for just little walks. Like that's one thing that I love doing Well, obviously when it's a little bit warmer out, but we would just go walk for maybe, I don't know, 3 miles and then
Sure.
easy.
I try and do it every day.
Yeah.
Let's see. Optimize your workplace.
Sure.
So most of us aren't sitting in the right level of computers for your eyes, or seats that make sense for you that are ergonomic, or do you have a standing desk? Can you sit? Can you stand? So that's in there. Be active in your sex life. That's in there as well.
Of course.
I don't know about this one. Hang from a bar for 1 minute a day.
So not like do a pull up or a chin up, just hang, like hold and. Okay.
It supposedly brings mobility back to your shoulders, and it will decompress the spine and build strength in the upper back.
That makes sense. Okay. I never thought about it like that, but that makes sense.
I've never heard of that. Turn down the volume. So
guilty.
Pumping 90 decibel noise into your ears for 10 minutes will put you on the path to, I can't ever get this right. Tinnitus. So what that means is the effect that this has is that your quality of life is likely why people with extensive hearing loss die earlier. Never heard of that. That's interesting.
I haven't either. But I wouldn't. Tinnitus is sound like that would be a nightmare for me. And anybody who has it, I'm so sorry, because that just sound. Oh man, just thinking about it makes me feel.
Breathe through your nose.
Yes. Don't be a mouth breather.
I struggle with that. I have trouble breathing through my nose. Broken nose twice does not help you breathe through your nose.
I can imagine.
Relax your jaw so you're not teeth clenching and grinding your teeth as you're now trying to do.
Well, I'm told that I clench my jaw when I sleep. Tiff sometimes like wakes up and looks over and sees if I'm okay, and I'm like, have the tight. So that's something I'll have to think about before I go to bed to try to loosen it so I don't die early.
Exercise in the cold.
No.
The cold temperature exposure turns white fat into brown fat. And it's a process called thermogenesis.
Well, I will say every year, with the exception of last year, I have done the polar plunge, where we run into Lake Michigan in March when it is brisk cold, to say the least. Like one year, they literally had to get like an excavator thing to break the ice for us to go in.
So researchers in Norway suggest exercising outside a week. Exercising outside 120 minutes a week in the winter.
Okay.
Get off the toilet. Men tend to linger in the bathroom.
Yes, guilty.
And so it inflames the veins.
Yes.
Your rear end.
Sure.
And can lead to hemorrhoids.
So here's what I'll say. When I was a younger man and I had a Nokia cell phone, Snake, that was my game of choice. If it was, that would keep me on there probably unnecessarily long. So that's probably good advice.
It shouldn't be a surprise to use sunscreen.
Yes. So many people don't think to do that.
And then as what you were talking about, taking power naps.
Yeah.
The 15 to 30 minute power nap actually increases cognitive ability and alertness. But no more than that.
Yeah. Any more than that, you feel super groggy and like crap.
All right. Excellent. Hey, so we're almost halfway through this list. Anything surprise you?
The bar thing, like just hanging from a bar. I'm like,
never thought about that.
That's easy enough. And people in Norway, like they might be one of the happiest countries in the world, but they're crazy. Like they love dipping in lakes, like in just their skivvies, just their underwear, and they're like, oh, it feels very nice. And it's like, how do you not catch a cold or like hypothermia? What are you doing?
Well, apparently you do the polar plunge, so you agree with that.
Yeah, I run into a lake and I run out into a heated tent. I don't like lollygag out in the freaking tundra.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a difference.
All right, we'll have more of these when we come back. It's the Dino and Joe Show. Hey, welcome back to the Dino and Joe Show. I am Dino. That is Joe.
Hi.
And we're talking about living longer.
Yes.
And what I found was an article. This is from Inside Hook, and it's about the 100 steps that you can take to add to your life for longevity. So, in the spirit of everybody thinking about what they want to do as they start to plan for New Year's resolutions and getting healthy, because it seems to be the time of the year people think about that. Thought it'd be kind of fun to pick that up. So we'll pick up where we left off. We're actually at number 41, which is picking up high intensity workouts.
High intensity interval training is what I do now. There are YouTube videos. And that's the thing I love about living in 2021 is that you literally just open up YouTube and you can search for any type of workout and it's right there for you to consume. I do 20 to 30 minutes every morning.
There you go. Learn to play again. Essential for mental health of all ages is to act like a child.
Yeah. This is the one thing that I so wish I had. When you present a problem to a child, they don't know restrictions. You know what I mean? Like they look
Sure.
at it from every angle.
Yeah.
Angles that we as adults would never even think of because we're so far removed from that. And my friends and I are starting up. But prior to the pandemic, we did it. Obviously, the pandemic put a little kibosh on that. But starting tomorrow again, we're going to try to do game night once a week, where we just get together and play a game: Trivial Pursuit, Villainous, Sorry, Monopoly, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, laughter is good. Let's just be honest.
It's one of the best medicines. That's no joke.
Worry less about weight loss. When you stress about weight loss, it often leads to weight cycling. This shouldn't be a surprise. Screen for cancer regularly. Make sure you floss once a day.
Yeah.
It actually can stop heart disease because you're not allowing the bacteria that can get into your bloodstream.
Yep.
Practice sleep hygiene.
Sleep hygiene.
Right. You don't know what this is?
Well, I might, but I've never called it this. Maybe.
So the process around sleep, people clutter their sleep process, right? So it's about learning to keep a calm, cool, uncluttered, sleep-only bedroom, and that allows you to shut down, right? To shorten that sleep latency. So the longer it takes you to fall asleep, the worse it is for you.
Oh, sure.
But people bring TVs into the bedroom and their, phones, and suddenly, you go to bed and an hour later you're scrolling through TikTok, right? Like that's not what you should do. Like when you want to shut down, you should shut down. Let's see. Start running.
Okay. Sure.
Neither one of us is going to start running.
Like I have too bad of a knee to.
Yeah, my knees won't take it.
I can maybe jog lightly, but that's about the extent.
Yeah. Get into swimming. Swimming's very good for you.
I would love that. If we had a heated pool indoors somewhere around here, I would absolutely do that.
Forget getting a six-pack. Chasing the six-pack is a waste of time.
I don't want that. That sounds like so much work.
Workouts should be diverse, mixed in with diet that allow you to be your best no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help in a fitness journey.
No.
Whether it be a personal trainer, family member. These are things to avoid at all costs. Are you ready? Don't ride a motorcycle.
I have once and I will never again.
Motorcyclists 35 times more likely to have a fatal accident than car drivers.
Yes.
96% of motorcycle accidents result in injury.
Yeah.
Don't take up base jumping.
No, I never wanted to.
8 times greater risk of fatality than skydiving.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Don't eat processed foods. That's probably no surprise.
Yeah.
Don't take hard drugs. Again, probably no surprise.
Good there.
Don't ingest tobacco. No surprise. Don't smoke e-cigarettes. Wait, all these things that are supposed to be bad for you are actually bad for you? Shocker.
I'm picking up what you're putting down so far.
Binge drinking. Don't do that.
Nope.
If you want to drink in moderation.
I'll have my one glass of wine at 5 o'clock.
Don't eat hot dogs.
Okay, now that's just ridiculous.
A University of Michigan study showed that eating hot dogs takes 36 minutes off your life.
Okay, so remember what added 33 minutes earlier?
I don't remember, but yes.
Peanut butter and jelly, maybe?
Peanut butter and jelly, yeah.
Okay, so those are literally just like canceling out for me. The 33 minutes I got from one, the hot dog is taking off the other. So, okay, I'm back to a neutral position.
Don't have unprotected sex.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't drive under the influence. So while you're impaired,
so far we're
all right.
good.
Don't live in the middle of nowhere.
That's just solid advice. Away from hospitals and people who can help.
There's too much solitude. There's such a thing as too much solitude. So rural living can also mean a repressed social life, too much time in the car, relying on Walmart and places that don't serve necessarily the best food, fending for yourself during natural disasters, and traveling too far for emergency care.
Yep.
Don't blindly pop over-the-counter pills.
It
should be it, right?
Yeah.
Don't overeat. That was kind of an easy one. Yeah. Don't eat more protein than you need.
That's fair.
Right. Most American men currently average twice the amount of protein they actually need in a day. Wow. Don't stay in a stressful job.
Check.
Got that one covered.
Got that one covered.
Don't hold a grudge. Happy people live longer.
Okay, here's the thing. If I have one major flaw, and trust me, I have way more than one, grudges are. There's still one person from my grade school days that I to this day have a beef with. So
see, you look, you're getting red.
I am.
I'm red in the face. You're already like you're worked
thinking
up.
about his
This
face.
is good for your health, Joe. Breathe.
Punchable it was. Moving
on. Don't blame your genes.
Yeah.
Less than 25% of your genetics are accountable for your personal longevity.
That's fair.
So don't sit around all day.
Used to do that all the time.
I kind of feel like that is kind of like already covered, though. We already talked about exercise and moving. Don't doom scroll.
What is that?
Doom scrolling. This is a new phrase. I've never heard of it. Excessively scrolling through news or social media feeds looking for negative updates.
Yeah, I don't want that. In fact, I turn my internet stuff to where it's only positive news stories because God knows the world has enough negative stuff. Let's look for something positive.
Don't binge watch Netflix.
Don't tell me what to do.
It causes eye strain, backaches, weight gain, and sleep deprivation. Don't binge on screen time, which we should all know.
That is good, yes.
Don't play American football.
Well, luckily, those days are behind me.
Well, I don't have that worry either, but obviously with CTE, head, trauma, the highest concussion rates outside of rugby. So that could be a problem. Don't fool around in national parks or state parks or the woods behind your house.
I don't. I have a special spot in my my hate journal for people who mess around in those places because they're such beautiful places and you could get hurt and like fall off a cliff. I don't want to be the person to find you.
As more people have been forced out into nature and have taken up things like hiking, or they're actually like hurting themselves because they're actually doing things they shouldn't be doing in nature.
Don't do that.
Let's see. Don't mess with firearms.
No.
So,
never.
You know what? I mean, if you own a gun, you own a gun. It is what it is. But there are 120.5 guns for every 100 people in America. So, 73% of homicides involve a gun. So, do what you do, but be safe. Don't ignore air quality.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
I always look at that before I go outside so I know what I'm getting into.
Yep. Anything, by the way, anything over 100 means the air is considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you're not looking at that, maybe you should. And then we're into, these are called the wild cards.
Okay.
So
love a wild card.
Check your household products.
Yes.
Like there are chemicals in your shampoos, in fragrances, in cleaners, in plastics, like that actually can lead to problems with your metabolism, problems with reproductive systems. So yeah, definitely something there. Live with a purpose.
Yeah.
So when you wake up in the morning, what's your purpose? Finding the why can bring you causes that actually benefit you both mentally and physically. So you get more out of life when you live more out of it.
Yep.
Manage negative thought loops. So being positive rather than negative can help you live longer. Have a plan after retirement. So many people do not.
I don't even have a plan for retirement.
I don't.
I mean, admittedly, it's a few years away, but still, I should probably think about it.
I'm closer to it than you are, and I'm still not even there yet. But yes, having a financial plan that's thought out can help you live longer.
Absolutely.
Pick up forest bathing.
Again, don't tell me what to do. That sounds. I don't know what.
Comes from Japan. It's the act of taking in nature using all of your senses.
Oh.
So recent studies show that adults spend 93% of their time indoors, which takes a toll on mental health.
It's true.
But the exact opposite is true for spending time outdoors. So a single forest bath decreases things like depression, fatigue, and anxiety.
I take everything I said back. The Japanese are genius, and I will be doing that as soon as it is not freezing cold outside.
Settle down near a body of water. Now, I've heard this before too, but if you live in a blue space, there is a link to that and a reduction in mortality rates. So there's a study that suggests that living within 250 meters of a seaside environment helps reduce stress levels, and the smell and sounds of the ocean are a tonic for people.
Yes, I would love that.
You're gonna like this one. Play board games.
Done. Yes.
So people who regularly play non-digital games are more likely to score well on memory and thinking tests in their 70s.
I don't do well with that now, but it's maybe I'm trying to build it back up.
Cards, chess, crosswords actually aid in cognitive function and slow down cognitive decline. Join a team.
Any team?
Any kind of team, yeah. Social interaction, vigorous exercise, and play, those are all good things for you.
Okay.
How about this one? Tell the truth.
I do my best to do that every day.
So the emotional stress of lying can take years off your life.
It's true.
Interesting. Listen to live music twice a month.
Yes.
Another one you would enjoy.
I love that.
So live concerts are mindful, socially rich experiences, and yes, they are. You'll see things in a concert you'll never see anywhere else. True. This is a weird one. I've heard this before too. Take cold showers.
Yes, I have. No.
Lower blood pressure, stimulate your immune system.
I get it.
Gives you happy neurotransmitters like dopamine, adrenaline. Yeah, serotonin.
I get it, but no, I can't. No. I
hate being
cannot
cold.
Physically do it.
Read before bed. People who read books for at least 30 minutes a day live nearly 2 years longer than non-readers. Again, lowers your heart rate, fosters empathy, helps you defeat insomnia. Keep a journal.
I used to do that.
Yeah. Personal journal keeping can predict an astonishing 53% reduction in all dementia risk causes. So it's about cognitive thinking. I've never been, I can't write a diary. And what do you write down?
That's the thing. That's why I stopped. Eventually I'm like, what am I writing? I don't know.
Right.
Like,
I went to the store. I can't do that. But obviously I'm not going to live very long. Embrace behavioral activation. Presence of mind, thinking. So think cooking, gardening, walking the dog, things that allow you time to have positive thinking and productivity.
Sure.
Avoid social jet lag. So social jet lag occurs when the body's sleep-wake cycle is suddenly thrown out of whack.
Oh, yeah.
So when you choose to stay up late on a Saturday, now you've pushed the midpoint of your sleep forward. And so now you've created jet lag in your sleep. And then you wake up in the middle of the next day, you're tired.
Right.
Because you have that jet lag. Learn a language.
Done.
Bilingual brains age slower than monolingual brains.
What does it mean if I speak 4 or 5 of them? Does that how does that translate into? I get it. Joke translate.
But
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was good. Well, is it quadruple healthy?
Maybe I don't know. Je ne sais pas.
Show up to events. So researchers are convinced social connections are probably the single most important feature to living a long, healthy, happy life. Yeah. So when you show up for functions, you build on that. Sure. Maintain friendships. Yeah. This is weird, but in America, 15% of middle-aged men report having no close friends, and that dynamic everyday interaction is not helping you.
Yeah, I believe that.
Make time to travel. This is probably one of the big ones, right? Yeah. There are hundreds of millions of vacation days in the U.S. not used every year, and that is your time to decompress.
That drives me crazy.
Yep. So you should make time for your vacation. Can actually lower risk of heart disease through contentment.
And more than anything else, learn a new culture, meet new people, try new things. That's have an adventure. It's so much fun. Learn about somebody other than what you live around every day. It's great.
Visit museums or the ballet. or culture, right?
Yes.
People that get a regular culture fix have a 14% lower risk of passing away earlier than a typical lifespan.
There you go.
So
I love the ballet is fun. The opera is great. Any sort of theater.
yeah. Find your spiritual side. People of faith tend to live longer.
Sure.
I think belief and community and all those things that go into it. Change your mind. When you look past an imperfect point of view, it actually reduces stress and then unshackles your entire mindset and allows you to refocus cognitively and make different choices.
I think you and I are familiar with the concept called growth mindset.
Yes.
And that's something that we have been, taught rather frequently in our organization. But I do think it's a good thing. It helps me, it helps you in everyday stuff, not just in professional life, but in disagreements with friends and other ones. Like, try to see what their side is and come into something in the middle. But yes,
this one's good. Have a family. So adults with at least one child tend to have more social interactions and lower mortality rates. But how about this one? Men who end up with younger partners also live longer. Younger spouses are a positive psychological influence and more capable caretakers in your twilight years.
Well, there you go.
That's exactly what my wife wants to hear. Hey, honey, you're here to, you want to, this is the one that got her. This is the one that made her so mad. When we had kids and they're in diapers. I said, I can't wait until like the kids are out of diapers and you can stop changing theirs and you can start changing mine.
Sure, she loved that.
That didn't go over well.
Yeah, I'm
sure 99. We're almost done. Summon some empathy.
Yes. Feel for others.
So empathy is associated with life satisfaction and positivity, and that helps you relate to others, which then helps you develop a right mind or an ageless mind.
There was one thing, and call this empathy, whatever. But I was getting food the other night, right? I was picking some food up for dinner, and they didn't have something that we wanted. So I was like, "Oh, no worries. Could I have this instead?" She said, "No, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Darn!" And she's like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Hey, it's not your fault. You didn't cause this. Like, you have nothing to apologize for." Because I heard how some of the people before me were speaking to her. Like, what do you mean you don't have this? What is going on? Like, it's like, and she was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Really? Nothing to be sorry about. I'll just have this instead. Thank you very much for putting up with crazy people like all of these people who are yelling." She was like, "Oh, of course. Thank you so much. You're so nice." And that made me horrified, where I'm like, that's nice.
Right.
It's just common human decency.
Right.
It's empathy of like,
it shouldn't be nice. It should just
not,
be the way it is.
It's not your fault that this is not I actually asked her, I was like, "Wait, is this your fault? Did you like not receive the shipment?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Then you're fine. Then I'm not upset at you."
Did you call and delay the shipment? Did you say, "Hey, hold on to that for another week"?
Right. You did. You're totally good. So, but yeah, it's little things like that. It's like, come on, give that person a break because they don't want to not have something for you. So
yeah, and I think we're in a world we understand giving grace a lot more than we did before because of the way that we have to work today and the fact that nothing is normal.
Nothing.
And probably not going to go back to normal. And then here's number 100.
100.
Celebrate aging.
Yeah.
Those who approach aging with a positive outlook end up aging easier than others. So, look, we're all going to get old. We're all getting older. You can't stop it. So embrace it. So there you go. There's 100 things that you can do to live longer, better, healthier lives.
I love it.
I think that was the article says.
I mean, there's a few things that I have no problem trying. Like, I'm going to start drinking a glass of wine at 5 o'clock every day. I'm going to continue
at work or not at work. If I'm at work, I don't care. It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I will now start hanging from a bar for 1 minute every day.
That's crazy.
I will continue to have my peanut butter and jellies zero out my hot dog consumption. So that'll, so that'll continue. I'm trying to think of other things. I would love to continue to travel or start traveling again. I will not be going to Norway because I don't want to.
At least not in the wintertime.
Not in the wintertime. Like, I'm sure it's absolutely a lovely. I know it's a lovely. I've seen pictures, but I don't need to do that in the winter. I'll stick with my polar plunge 1 day a year for I'm gonna roughly guess 45 seconds and then sprint into a warm room. What else? What else? What else was a big one? I think those are the big ones that I would like to try.
I think the big thing for people is mentally, right? How
Yeah.
do they approach life, right?
Right.
And how do they approach stress? How do they find ways around it, right? I think some of the messaging makes a lot of sense, right? So
Yes.
even if, you don't want to take up meditation, can you find a way to relax the mind and let yourself, wander with your thoughts and don't hold the stress in?
Sure.
Because stress is a killer. Like, let's just be honest. Like, the
Absolutely.
more you put into like holding all that in, the more it has no place to go.
Well, think about it. This is a very stressful time of year for some people with the
Oh,
holidays
sure.
coming up. Sometimes they have to go to family, they have to travel, they have to
Yep.
cook the meal, they have to get work done before like all these different things that play a role into it. And I think mental health is a very serious thing and
Yes,
something that sometimes you just need to take a little break and say, okay, I need some me time. I need a break from everything so I can tackle this.
I agree.
And so it's
So,
important.
all right, think better, live longer.
Wow. Did you just, is that like a tagline for something or did
No,
you make
I
that
just
up?
no, just
Say
came up
TM, say TM really quick.
TM.
There you go. And you've just trademarked it legally because this is going to go out on the internet and that is now yours. So
Okay, there you go.
who wants to buy that? Who's willing to buy that? Walgreens, I'm looking at you.
I'll live longer if you want to pay me some money. It's the Dino and Joe Show.